Good evening and welcome to Horror Historian. My name is Amanda, and tonight we'll be discussing the 1980 slasher comedy Motel Hell. This movie is kind of iconic in my household just because it's kind of bananas.
The director is Kevin Connor, and he is currently 88 years old and still kicking. He is most known for Frankenstein, The House Where Evil Dwells, and The Land That Time Forgot. The writers are Robert Jaffe and Stephen Charles Jaffe. They are brothers, and Robert is most known for Night Flyers, Demon Seed, and Creature. Stephen Charles is most known for Scarab, The Fly 2, and Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. The stars are Rory Calhoun, Paul Link, Nancy Parsons, Nina Axelrod, and Wolfman Jack. Calhoun is most known for How to Marry a Millionaire, Tales from the Crypt, and Capital. Link is most known for The Strongest Man in the World, Grand Theft Auto, and Shrunken Heads. Parsons was most known for the Porky's franchise, Steel Magnolias, and Days of Our Lives. Axelrod was most known for Roller Boogie and Critters 3. And Wolfman Jack was a DJ for like 30 years. He had a pretty iconic voice, and for a long time he hosted Knott's Scary Farm event, and he's just an icon. You see him a lot in Rob Zombie stuff.
The movie opens with Farmer Vincent patrolling his land with a shotgun. This isn't on accident, as he has found a motorcyclist on a nearby road. Vincent fires at the front tires of the motorcycle, causing the two riders to go flying. He takes the male biker somewhere, but he is much more concerned about what he's going to do with the pretty young biker, Harry.
Farmer Vincent owns a farm and operates a successful smoked meats business. Adjacent to the farm is a motel called Motel Hello, although the O is frequently flickering out. Vincent's closest person is his sister, Ida. She helps both with the farm and the motel, and at first glance, I did not realize that they were siblings. I thought they were married until Vincent's relationship started to develop with Terry, and that's when I paused the movie and did a double check because I thought, his wife is really okay with this. But no, they are siblings. They have another brother named Bruce, and he's on the police force. Terry wakes up and is told that her boyfriend, Bo, died from the motorcycle crash. Vincent claims that he buried him up on the hill, explaining that she didn't want to see him in the condition that he was in at the time of his death. However, we learn pretty quickly that Bo is not dead, and Vincent is truly not innocent at all, compared to how he puts himself in the view of Terry, that is.
Vincent offers Terry a place to stay so that she can kind of heal and get over what had happened. For some reason, she accepts and just kind of settles in. She's trying to process the trauma of losing her boyfriend, which I understand. While she does like little but rest, she is like expressing interest in getting more involved in what is going on at the farm.
However, Vincent and Ida are hesitant to involve her in the real details of their operation. For a good reason, though. They've been putting human flesh in the meats that they've been selling. This disturbing fact really isn't that shocking, given that this is a horror movie. The surprising fact comes from how they're running their operation. This is all revealed when a health inspector decides to go into areas that he had not previously had access to. That's when he is knocked unconscious and wakes up buried up to his neck in soil, with a bunch of other people that have gone missing, including a very alive Bo. They are completely conscious where they have been buried, with bags placed over their heads to hide what is underneath the soil. Their throats have been cut in a way that damaged the vocal cords, forcing them to all make a weird hissing sound. And the siblings treat them in like a casually dehumanizing manner, like they're heads of lettuce.
Vincent adds some more vegetables to his human garden, and after orchestrating another accident, this time it was a van of metalheads. They're buried along with the other heads, and at least we now know that there is no gender discrimination going on. His reason for saving Terry just genuinely seems to be just he found her to be pretty. So, while still gross, at least it's not like a repeat issue.
Meanwhile, Terry goes on a date with Bruce. He takes her up to a lookout point most commonly used by teenagers to hook up. He proceeds to clear out the other cars and parks so that they have a good view of the drive-in movies. Rather than actually paying to take her to the drive-in, he opts for a extremely cheap alternative, and unsurprisingly, he makes a very inappropriate move on Terry. He gets fresh with her and she rejects him, and he's a little more aggressive than I would have liked. Terry is still grieving the traumatic loss of Bo, so she's really not in the right headspace to be doing this. Her disinterest in the moment doesn't mean forever, though. She rejects him really as nicely as possible. But then a call comes over the radio, and it's a woman desperately begging for help as she drives away from the Vincent's latest trap. Possibly the most ridiculous and involved one so far.
Vincent sets up another trap on the road, this time using cows, like giant foam cows. They're not particularly heavy, but they're enough that like someone driving through probably wouldn't just like go full speed ahead. No one wants to risk damaging their car for some stupid cow figures.
Two very pretty women are the ones that pull up. One of them gets out to move the cows, and she is ambushed and incapacitated. The other woman manages to drive away, but she is being followed. The woman is the one that gets Bruce's attention. He responds, but by the time he gets to the area, there's no sign of her. Bruce and Terry return to the motel, and Ida says that it has nothing, and it was a prank. Terry goes to bed, leaving Ida and Vincent awake, right in time for a couple to arrive that are very interested in having an orgy with the siblings. They are not subtle one bit, and they're actually the easiest victims that Vincent could have ever dreamed of. They are quite literally begging to be tied up and drugged, although the girlfriend does notice that they are not being drugged by what they thought they were going to be drugged with. This is an oddly hilarious section, so I've not really nothing to say about it.
Terry expresses a genuine interest in getting involved in the meat smoking aspect of their business. She sees it as a way to earn her keep, and honestly, Vincent's kind of excited by the prospect.
Ida catches Terry snooping around the smokehouse, and she immediately has her hands on Terry's throat. Terry makes it clear that she was just interested and that Vincent had said that he was going to bring her in at some point. Ida doesn't seem thrilled about this, but she lets it go. Instead, she suggests that they go for a swim at the pond to cool off. Terry admits that she can't swim, and Ida claims that she can't either. But if they're on floaties, then they're going to be fine. Terry agrees, and they get on the floats. Everything is fine until Ida fakes falling off her raft. Ida pretends to start drowning, just taking that opportunity to grab onto Terry and drag her into the water. It's pretty clear it's all a ruse. She's perfectly capable of dragging Terry under her and holding herself up. Vincent arrives to rescue both women, and this all feels staged to get Terry into seeing Vincent as being her constant protector. He really did not seem mad about what Ida had done one bit. This all sets up a narrative that Vincent benefits from. He saved her from the motorcycle crash, offered her a place to stay and heal, protected her from drowning, and has treated her with nothing but respect this entire time. Terry is moved by all the things he has done for her and has developed romantic feelings for him. Vincent makes it clear that he will not sleep with anyone he is not married to, and Terry takes that to mean that they are engaged. It's an unexpected turn, but buckle in because it will continue to get weirder.
Although Bruce is no prize, he is not excited to learn about Terry's upcoming nuptials. In a jealous panic, he runs over to the motel to confront her about what she is doing. He lets it slip that Vincent has syphilis of the brain. Now, we have absolutely no proof of this, and this might just be something he's saying out of jealousy, but considering some of his life choices, I can understand why you might consider it.
Ida, Vincent, and Terry celebrate the upcoming wedding with some champagne. Terry's flute has been drugged. The siblings have some work to do and they can't have her bothering them. The new harvest is ready with some of the victims ready to be pulled up and processed. This involves some hypnotism to further pacify the victims before they're removed from the ground. Bruce, still seething with jealousy, finds a bunch of cars inside the pond that Terry and Ida had been swimming in. And while he may have started out for petty reason, it has become clear to him that his citizens are actually danger. He rushes to the motel and wakes up Terry, who doesn't initially believe him. She stands up for Vincent and Ida, but Bruce is very adamant that she is in serious trouble. She might not have believed him if Ida didn't show up and immediately reveal that she is an actual problem.
While that is going on, the vegetables have finally found a way to escape. During extracting some of the others, Bo managed to kind of like wiggle his way out. Like the soil around him had loosened up enough that he could kind of shimmy. They're all weakened and they're still not able to speak, but they all seem to agree that they're going to go get their revenge.
Vincent confesses that this operation has been going on for 30 years. He laughs over the fact that Bruce had been eating a lot of meat from Vincent, meaning that he might be one of the biggest cannibals in the county. Nearly every meal that they shared was causing Terry and Bruce to be cannibals. Bo, despite being weakened from escaping and helping the others, tries to fight Vincent and kill him. He is too exhausted to be a serious threat, and he ends up being killed by the farmer. Terry doesn't really seem that sad about Bo after this time. I guess she's already done the mourning. Vincent does an outfit change when Bruce comes in to save the day with Terry kind of it's like the classic like saw woman going towards the saw. Oh my god, he's gonna save her. It's that thing. Um we had seen Vincent's look earlier in the movie when Ida was scaring some kids, but he's wearing a pig head and he's carrying around a chainsaw.
We get a pretty entertaining chainsaw fight between Vincent and Bruce. The pig mask is absolutely a way to hide the stunt performer that is doing Vincent's role. Bruce ultimately gains the upper hand and lands a mortal damage to Vincent.
As Vincent lays dying, he seems to have experienced a moment of genuine remorse. But the crime that he confesses to is actually that he's been using preservatives instead of just relying on the smoking process. It's a devastating admission for Vincent, as he had claimed his products were completely natural, and with that, he dies. Terry and Bruce walk away, walking towards his car. Terry suggests arson, which would be the best way to deal with the situation, considering that the O in the sign explodes. Maybe they do actually go for that. As for Ida, she is revealed to have been buried alive in the garden. Her fate is left rough. I'm assuming the rest of the human vegetables are free and just kind of wandering around, maybe telling their stories in the way they can.
It's not scary at all, although I guess like the idea of being like buried up to your neck and being talked to like your lettuce would probably be terrifying. And for like 30 years, they had been getting away with it, which is scary and impressive, but it's also like really goofy in action.
The acting is pretty good, and I found myself really liking Vincent, despite him also being a little bit scary. He's got some interesting ideas, often wondering about the karmic implications of the work that they've been doing. And once again, I was very confused about his relationship with Ida until the halfway point. Terry was also pretty good, even if she was more like at the whim of the plot than the rest of the cast. I don't know why she would have stayed there, even if she had just been following her boyfriend around. I didn't like Bruce, but he was useful. Turns out he ran away when he was a kid and didn't have much to do with his siblings after that, which actually makes a lot of sense. Although he never checked to see that Bo was dead, so I did kind of question him in the beginning. Like Vincent got away with that part, but
Thanks so much for watching. My name is Amanda. This has been Horror Historian. Please like, share, subscribe, do. Would I survive? I would not get out of the. So unless he did like one of those ones where like you didn't have a choice or you're getting knocked out, goodbye. Um, I'm screwed. But if those cows were in the road, and the second I found out I could hit them even a little bit, I'm driving right through them. I am not getting out of the car at night. No, you're not getting me.